Welcome back aboard the Ginger Armada, where we sail into the deepest depths of fantasy. And again, we are continuing on with the Elven Alliance series today, and especially with Essie and Farindel's story. And so today I will be talking about the third book in this series, and this book is called Deathwind by Tara Grace. And I did my makeup because Essie is not. Essie and Farindel are going through a very, very hard challenge, and so she's not quite as upbeat, so I tried to make my makeup a little bit more somber. Also, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Always feel free to leave me a comment. I love to hear your comments. And with that, let's jump into it. Okay, so at the end of the second book, Farindel was betrayed by his sister, and this, ouch. Like, ouch. Talk about a dagger to your heart. Elves might not be very emotional, but they are very loyal. And even if they don't love you, even if they aren't very emotional, they love deeply. And Farindel, he doesn't like being Lysdefeu. He doesn't like killing, But even if he doesn't like himself very much sometimes, he could always count on the fact that his family loves him. And then to be betrayed by his sister and find out she never really thought of him as a brother, ouch. And Essie was able to get away while Farindel was captured. And Farindel did not intend to let himself get caught in, because he's been caught by the trolls before. And they have tortured him before. But Essie asked him to live and come back to her. And so he chose to do that. He could have fought to the death, but he didn't. He chose Essie and let himself be captured. And Essie meanwhile has gotten away, and she's trying to. Wayland, Farindel's brother, is not happy that his brother got captured while he was visiting Essie's family. And so at first he's not willing to cooperate until Essie's like, all right, look, we need to work together. We need my brothers, and the brothers were like, we care about Farindel too. And finally she convinced everybody to work together. Oh, and also, now that the trolls have Farindel, they have also cut his hair. Farindel's hair is like magic hair. He uses it to help him fight and stuff. And having a shorn, or I don't know, it like senses it's magic hair, okay? But to have for an elf to have the hair shorn is a mark of a traitor, basically. And the trolls have done this knowing what it means to an elf to have their hair shorn off. Oh, and the prince of the elves is also the one who caught him. The king of the elves is the one who's in charge of Farindel's accommodations. The king of the elves is very torture happy, and Farindel killed the old king, and he didn't do it in battle. He snuck into the castle. So, and I think he feels a little bit guilty about that. He's like, I could have just waited to do it in battle, but he was young. He was angry. The king had killed his father, so, But the new king is much like his father. The prince is more honorable. He doesn't stop the king, but he doesn't participate in it. And he doesn't agree with what the king is doing, but he's just a prince. There's only so much he can do. And also Melantha, the sister who betrayed Farindel, she thought that, once she betrayed Farindel, that they would get rid of Essie and Melantha could just go on her way. It didn't work like that. Essie got away, and so she knows that she's gonna go tell. She at first, Melantha was like, okay, I'll leave now, and the Troll Prince is like, no, you're not going. He's like, she got away. They're going to know that you are a traitor, so what are you going to do? And so now Melantha is also being held prisoner. So she's not having a great time either. And but as she's being held prisoner, she starts to realize that she has allowed her anger at Ferndale over things that Ferndale had no control over. You know, he didn't have control over the circumstances of his birth. He didn't have control over a bunch of other things that she is angry at for him. She realizes that she has allowed her anger to cloud her judgment and to really hurt Ferndale. And so she wants to help him, but Ferndale is understandably a little, I don't trust you. But is it a trick or can she be trusted? You'll have to read it to find out. And Essay, meanwhile, is trying to... Ferndale asked her to not let this make her stop smiling. Essie's trying, guys, but she misses her husband. They've only been married for 3 months. They were just figuring out this marriage thing. And she misses him desperately. But they do have the heart bond, and they can still sense each other through the heart bond. They figured out that they can send emotions and stuff through the heart bond. So she knows that he's still alive, and she is going to get her elf back. That is going to happen for sure. She is not going to let any feud that might be happening between Ferndale's brother and her brother stop her from getting her elf back. And she is going to go. They are going to declare war on the trolls, and she's going to go with them to get her elf back. Nothing is going to stop her. This is their hardest challenge to date. Forget meeting both families. That was a cakewalk compared to what they're both going through now. So will she get her elf back? Will everything turn out okay? What's going to happen with the trolls? What about the Troll Prince? Is he as bad as he seems? Is Melantha pulling a trick right now, or has she realized that her actions have led to? Is she going to try and fix her actions? You'll have to read to find out. So now we are going to move on to the shipping video. So I will see you in the shipping video. For now, we are going to wait, anger, and take our short leave.